Hello again, cognitive typology enthusiasts. Today I am going to be giving my summary slash review on the 3 weeks that I went without a smartphone. So the first thing that happened is my phone broke, and naturally, because we live in a very smartphone dependent society, I was faced with the decision of what to do next. Was I going to get another smartphone, get a dumb phone, fix my phone, move over from Apple to Android? It was all. And I was pretty busy with work and other things at the time, so I just kind of said, I don't know. And I spent a little bit of time without using my phone at all. Or without any phone. And so now I'm going to review that. I have a couple notes here, so I will reference those on occasion. Okay. So, right. I guess starting off with the challenges, one of the first things that was immediately apparently going to be a challenge was, oh, by the way, my review, the summary it was fine. Okay, moving on. Right, so challenges, yeah. To start, we have so the apartment building that my wife and I live in, it's got these Bluetooth door. It has a Bluetooth door system, and so essentially you need to get the app on your phone, and then you have the app, and then you push it up to the door, and then it Bluetooths, and it beep, and then it unlocks, and that's how that goes. And not having a phone with Bluetooth, because I don't have a phone, what I had to do, and my wife also joined me in this, is we memorized the door code. So there's basically one code that works for all of the doors, and that one we have and we still use. I still don't have the app on my phone because I just put in the code, and it's faster, and I don't have to pull out my phone. So I actually kind of picked up something new from this, and that's interesting and cool, I guess. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah. Oh man, going to the gym was so shit. No music, no nothing, and so what I did was I took my my AirPods, which I don't have on me right now. My wife is using them. And I took them to the gym, and because I know that there's a Bluetooth connection option on the treadmills, the bikes, whatever, and so I connected it to that, and I had to pair it and connect it, and then whenever I did that, it sucked. So I was getting, and then I was able to sign in. Sorry, my thoughts are so jumbled. I haven't made a video in so long. Okay, so I had to sign in. And, usually in conversation, there's someone else to pace you, and if it's a presentation, you've thought it over a bit more. So I'm not as used to just going and pacing myself and knowing what to say anymore, if I ever was. I think maybe a tiny bit. So essentially, where was I? Right, so it worked, it connected, but there was a slight channel delay. So in my right ear, I would hear Andrew Huberman's voice. In my left ear, I would hear the exact same thing, but delayed by half a second or 0.1 seconds or something. And so it created this unpleasant. You definitely wouldn't want to listen to music with that, and it was not even super pleasant for just a podcast, but it was fine. Not to mention the audio quality was obviously not amazing, and I had to use this weird Spotify UX on the fucking treadmill software, whatever that's about. Actually, it was a bike, but I've started using the treadmill kind of recently, and I enjoy it. I didn't really think I would enjoy it too much, but you get into a nice little rhythm, and you just start going, and it's nice. You just arm and leg, they move in tandem, so it feels very rhythmically satisfying. Okay, so then you basically just anything that a normal person would do on their phone, I did on my computer, right? And that's kind of how I often operate anyway. I really prefer using the computer for pretty much anything. Anything that I would use my phone for. Like there are some things that I would prefer to do on my phone, but for the majority of cases, I would prefer to use my computer because it's just faster, it's just better, you have more screen real estate, etc. So if I'm going to be sitting down and doing any kind of online activity for 10 minutes or longer, I may as well get on a computer. Of course, it's not entirely like one-to-one and so cut and dry, but it's really not so bad, I think. So I did all my Discording on my computer. I did all of my whatever else it is that I do. I will say that I went MIA in the perspective of my family, my grandparents, especially my grandma, especially. She reaches me via Facebook, and I did not think to check in on Facebook. Because why would I do that? It's Facebook. And so I checked my messenger after like 3 weeks. Actually, no. What first happened to me is my childhood best friend / still best friend, really. We're still really close, and we've been friends since first grade. So we've been friends for 20 years now. Holy shit. Anyway, he reached out to me and he's like, hey, your grandma just reached out to me. She's like asking if like you're okay and stuff. And I'm like, oh shit. And so, yeah, I guess she thought that I was like dead or something because I didn't pick up. She couldn't call my number because, well, obviously. And I wasn't online on Facebook and I wasn't responding to any messages, and she doesn't have my wife's number. And, it was a mess. So, and then and then I set that straight. That was fine. And then 2 weeks later or something, when I I had a new phone, but I hadn't gotten Messenger yet, she started freaking out again. I'm like, come on. She worries, but it's anyway. Pros. Okay, so I was able to kind of unplug a bit, and that actually felt nice. I don't feel that feeling of being plugged in, and I don't know if I ever really did necessarily. I guess so, yeah. But I kind of felt, I just remember feeling that whenever I went from using my phone to not using my phone, there was this feeling of, oh, nobody can contact me even if they wanted to. And I can just sit here by myself, or wherever and whatever, and people can't, even if they expect me to get back to them, I don't even know about it. And that just felt kind of nice, kind of freeing. I think maybe at the time I needed it a bit more. Now I feel yeah, whatever. Somebody wants to talk to me, that's fun. I have very little notifications in the first place as well, for what it's worth. I very actively reduce and minimize the number of notifications that I receive on my cellular phone. And yeah, I have to do Duolingo. Okay. Oh yeah, so that was an interesting one. That there was kind of more opportunities to just think rather than reaching for my phone. So I couldn't listen to music or a podcast or an audiobook while I was walking to work. I also just let's say me and my wife are going to do something and she's just, I don't know, doing her skincare or gone to the bathroom or getting a snack or something. And we pause what we're watching, say if we're watching TV, then I have to just kind of sit there and wait because I don't have a phone to look at. But I think adding in all that dead time, I think that is useful, and I enjoyed that. So I think it kind of gives you more time to process things out in a way, and I enjoyed that. And actually, before I got a phone, I even noted really, and I got a phone late. So I was like 18, and I was late on the trend. And people had already had phones for years in my school, and I wasn't interested in one. I got one because I was going to university, and so I should probably get one. And I wanted to play Hearthstone on lunch break. So I got a phone, and but I remember before that I said, I think one benefit of not having a phone is that I just see people pull out their phones instead of being bored or just thinking, and I think that there's really something being lost there. And I do think that's true, and I still try to take opportunities to think, even though I have a phone now. Maybe I'm not amazing at it. Maybe I should. I don't know, I'm fine. Okay, cons. Oh, no GPS, no Uber. Oh, so bad. So let's actually make a little addendum or whatever to this. I need to make a clarification, a vital clarification. It is not that I did not use a smartphone for 3 weeks. It's that I did not have a smartphone for 3 weeks. So there were some things for which I actually needed to use my wife's phone. And so, for example, if we go hiking, we don't have a car. So if we go hiking, say, get dropped off at like the park, the state park, and or a reservation or whatever, nature reserve, that is. And then we need to get back because the nearest public transit's far and etc. Without a phone, that's pretty much not possible. So there are some situations for which having a phone is necessary, at least, especially when you don't have a car. So that is a situation in which a phone is necessary, and so we used my wife's phone for that. I also had to borrow her phone to order lunch delivery at work. So my work has this program where we kind of support some local businesses, and like in the community or some shit. I don't know. You get a meal that goes to charity. We have lunch delivery. And so and it's free, and so it's fucking awesome. I love it. But they don't have a desktop site. They only have a app, and so what are you to do when you don't have a phone? And so I ordered with my wife's phone. I got the app on it. I also had some online medical appointments and shit to attend, and I needed to. And like my doctor was trying to contact me about some fucking blood work results, and it was a bit hard to get a hold of me, which I don't mind. I like avoiding having to do annoying, practical, real world, stupid things. So, so I think that's my review, kind of. So I guess, we need to do something else now. So what did I do? Why? Okay, so, because I mentioned at the start that I had a bunch of options, and now I need to pick one. And so I thought about a dumb phone. And the reason I decided to not go with a dumb phone is because I need GPS, Uber, and what's it called? Ordering my own lunch is nice. Going with a dumb phone just seemed a little bit too challenging, a little bit too difficult. You'd have to get the numbers for things before you go, look up directions before you go. Maybe they do have GPS, but still, I think there's some things for which, like, it's really just assumed that every person has a smartphone. And so it makes your life easier if you have a smartphone. And I understand that there are a lot of traps with that, but I honestly don't really fall into those traps of the smartphone in particular, because I use the computer for the same things. And if there's going to be a phone trap, there's going to be a computer trap for me, generally speaking. So, so I did have an iPhone. I had an iPhone 11. and I got that on sale at a pretty reasonable price. But I think just still for what it was, it probably wasn't worth it. I also was a little bit, I bought it in mind with the resale value, but the phone broke. So, and I think to get it repaired, it would have costed, I don't know how much, but I know getting a screen repaired is $200, and more than the screen was broken. So it was just gonna be a lot, and it was kind of a bit old, and I noticed that it was closing my browser tabs. I really didn't like that. That was actually pissing me off a lot of the time. And so I decided, because there wasn't enough RAM or something, it seemed like. So what I did was I just went into the local AT&T store, even though I'm with T-Mobile, and I just went and looked at their phones, and then I picked up this guy, Motorola, and it was $300. And honestly, it's a really good phone. Like, that's another thing. I was just like, mid-range phones and cheaper phones are so good these days. They've already been good, and I think they're even better now. So why would I get an iPhone? Why would I spend like $900 or something like that on a phone? I just don't even, I'm not even really a big smartphone user, you know. So it has a stylus, so I can write things on it. I'm gonna write hello. Impressive, I know. Yeah, so I think that's the conclusion, I guess, of that. People really thought that I was crazy, and they couldn't understand why I would subject myself to this. But honestly, it was fine, and I would say that in terms of like what was affecting the quality of life and the flow of the daily events in my life and stuff, having a smartphone was honestly not even near rank 1. So it's just not really. And so even now I'm just like, I was second guessing making a video on it. I thought, is it really that interesting? And is there really that much to talk about? And I feel like I didn't really care too much, so, but other people might. And I wanted to make another CT video, so here we are. That's all for now. Take care.